So, it has come to my attention that I need to be studying more, and I gotta hand it to him. He's right. What I have come to realize, flying is like maximum 25% of the knowledge that you need. 75% of the game is all of the stuff you gotta know surrounding the flight, the procedures, the laws, what you can and can't do, what the FAA says, how do you talk on the radio, what kind of airspace can you fly in, and what kind of equipment do you have to have in order to even be in that airspace, what direction you can fly, load limits of the plane, speeds of the plane, so much stuff, the weather. So here I am like making flashcards, I'm reading through all of the crazy books. If you were to read through all of the FAA laws, the Aeronautical Information Manual, the Pilot's Handbook on Aeronautical Knowledge, the PHAK, the AFH, the Airplane Flying Handbook. I mean, it's like 3,000 or 4,000 pages worth of stuff. There's just no way that you can remember all of this. What I do have to prepare for is my written test, the test that you have to go take, the written knowledge test. You got to go take that at a testing center. Real similar to how you get your license when you're a real estate agent. You got to go take this knowledge test. So you got to pass that. Then you got to take your check ride. And your check ride is half flying and half an oral examination. And they're going to ask you all kinds of stuff. For example, certification requirements, reason flight experience, record keeping, privileges and limitations, medical certifications, the documents required to exercise your private pilot privileges, the difference between proficiency and currency, flying unfamiliar aircraft or operating unfamiliar flight displays and avionics, VFR scenarios, VFR weather minimums, VFR cruising altitudes, and the list goes on and on. And oh, by the way, that's only like 5% of the total stuff that they're going to potentially test you on and want you to know. I got up around 7:30, and by 8 a.m. I was nose in a book. And it's like 4 o'clock. And so that's kind of gonna be my plan, is just spending maybe 2 or 3 times the amount on the ground studying as I am in the plane. My CFI is the one who said, hey, you need to spend more time doing this stuff. So I promised him that I would do a couple of things. Number one, I promised him that I would have memorized all of the speeds that I need to know for the Piper Cherokee 140, which is what we're flying. I also promised him that I would study the ACS, which is the Airman Certification Standards. That's the stuff that they check you on. It's basically like a checklist that you can use to get prepared for what they're going to test you on. I also told him that I would study the Airplane Flying Handbook, Chapter 9, which is on landings and approaches, because that's kind of the thing that I'm personally struggling with. Sounds like pretty much everybody struggles with that. By the way, talking on the radio, using all the two-way radio airman lingo, like when you first start doing it, you're like, what? What is everybody talking about? There definitely is a method to the madness. All of this, by the way, is really intuitive once you start to understand the methods of how they do all of this stuff. And then the last thing he asked me to do was chair fly. Chair flying is basically kind of like visualizing yourself doing the maneuvers in the airplane. So sitting in a chair, eyes closed, kind of maneuvering, visualizing yourself in your head doing these maneuvers, practicing doing them perfectly, what it would be like, feel like, the controls that you would use. You know, you actually like move your hand, use the controls. Very intense training. This is not something I've had to do in quite a while. I'm excited for what's going to happen today. I have no idea what my flight with the head honcho is going to look like. I don't know what he's going to want me to do. I don't know if he wants me to practice maneuvers. Maybe he's going to give me some more tips on landings. Who knows? I'm guessing that my second flight with my main instructor is probably just going to be more landings. This is my hope for today. If it is just more landings with my main instructor, then what I'm hoping is that I can nail the landings process and I can get endorsed to solo. That's what I'm hoping for, because I'm really ready to move on to the next step. I feel like I've been stuck here for a few weeks, unfortunately, which I have to admit, that kind of was discouraging. Not discouraging enough to be like, well, I'm gonna quit, but it was a little discouraging considering that the guys at first were telling me like, oh man, you're gonna be a sub 10 hour solo guy. And I was like, hell yeah, man. I guess I'm badass. Yeah, so that didn't happen. Again, loads of humble pie, shovels full of humble pie being fed to old Scotty boy here. But it's okay. I'm dealing with it. I'm okay that I'm a novice. I'm okay with it personally. Just, it just bruises the ego a little bit. So I have no idea what my flight's gonna look like with the head honcho. We'll see. I'm willing to do 4 hours of landings today, if that's what it takes in order to be able to nail it. Clear prop.
Alright, test. Check one. Yep, I got you. Since we don't have an ATIS AWAS, I just like looking on ForeFlight at other airports. So right now it says 340 at 5. So which runway would we be using? Well, I just saw somebody take off on 3-1, so I know that, but I did check the METAR, and the winds are coming from 7 at like 5 knots. Okay. But that might be later in the day. Looking at that windsock right there, which runway are you thinking? Yeah, well, I would do 3-1 based on that windsock. I guess you could do this angle or looks a little weird. It'd probably be 3-6 would be preferable. It's going to be a little bit variable most of the day. I would say let's use 3-6. Okay, so then what we would do is we would taxi back 3-1 and go down to 3-6, right? Okay. Clear left, clear right. All right, turn. And attitude still blue or brown. All right, as we level out here, once we straighten up, I'm just going to adjust this for you. All right, looks good. We are good to go. Okay. Good, pull it back, there we go. U-turn crosswind 300 feet below traffic pattern altitude. Okay. So for us, that'd be 1,200. Right. However, we are in a slow airplane. We're going to be all the way out there and we turn at 1,200. So that's why I would say turn at 1,000 just to make it quicker. Okay. Shadow traffic 221 Whiskey Alpha, turning left crosswind 36, Shadow. And then I haven't really used this side of the, let's turn right now. That line of trees going down there, I like to turn before that. Okay. Shadow traffic 221 Whiskey Alpha, turning left downwind 36, Shadow. Oh, it's smooth today. Oh yeah. Okay, and then once we get to the last thousands over here, that's when we're going to reduce down to, how the book says 1,500, but yesterday we were giving it about 17, 18. Does that sound about right to you? Today, let's try 1,500. Okay, just because it's smoother? Yeah, it's smoother, and you'll learn if you glide it in and you keep everything super smooth, it'll be great. Yeah. So let's go ahead and configure right now. Okay. So we come down to 1,500. Correct. And we're going to give it 1 notch. Cool. Now try to glide at about 80 miles an hour. 80. Feel how smooth that is? Yep, very smooth. If you're having trouble controlling the aircraft, you're doing something wrong. Okay. So I like to kind of take a look at the runway, roughly at 45 degrees south of us right now. Let's start turning. Okay. Downwind for 17. Cattle traffic turning left base 36. Cattle. Good. How does this glide path look to you? Look pretty good? Looks about maybe getting a little low. Yeah, maybe a little bit. What's he going in? Throw in flaps 25. Right downwind for 15. There you go. There we go. Okay. Awesome. Now I would reduce a little bit of power because we got 2 notches of flaps. You're going to be a little bit. You're going to be a little bit slower. Keep that nose down. Reduce some power. Good. Start turning towards that runway. Good. Nice. Easy. Now we're definitely low, right? Cool. Yeah, add in some power. Cattle traffic, 221 Whiskey Alpha, final 36, cattle. Good. This looks perfect. I would say keep this power where it is. We're about 70 right now. Yeah, a little bit more power. Good. It's always good to have it just to keep the hand on the throttle. Yep. Good. Good. Let that nose down a little bit. Reduce a touch of power. We're just keeping it smooth. Good. Nose down, power idle. We got the runway made. Nose down more. Don't be afraid of that. You round out. Oh, too fast, too fast. Just pop a wheelie. Just like that. Okay. All right. I got your flaps. Full power. Thank you. Yeah, I am definitely afraid of keeping the nose down too much. You can always pull up, right? Yeah. Until you can't. But that last part where you're like, I need to pull up, just pull up a little bit. Yeah, I don't know why I'm so afraid of that. It comes with practice. Okay. This is the hardest part about flying. Yeah. Once you get your solo done, you're 60% done with your license. Then it's the cross-country solo, check ride prep. That's it. Okay.
Honcho, just flew with him for about an hour and like 20 minutes or so. One thing I've noticed so far, every instructor has taught me something new that I didn't learn before, or a different way of thinking about things and seeing things that the previous instructor just didn't connect with or whatever. That is the benefit of having multiple different teachers and instructors teaching you something that you don't know. It's very calm today, so the air is very, very clean and stable. You can see the clouds are starting to roll in, so the wind is picking up a little bit. The air is a little bit more unstable. It's the middle of the day, so it's getting hotter. I landed it gently at 85% of the time. He said he's going to go ahead and talk with my main instructor and tell him I think he's ready to solo. So I don't know if I'm gonna solo today. Perfectly okay. So if we don't do it today, I'm on the books for tomorrow. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. Boy, howdy. It got windier than a son of a gun out there today. The good news is, and I'm super pleased, tomorrow is solo time, 8 a.m.